Hallo und herzlich willkommen, liebe Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer. Die Sendungen vorher, die Events vorher, die waren etwas schneller vorbei als geplant. Das gibt uns die Möglichkeit, Ihnen eine halbe Stunde mehr Snooker zu zeigen, als ursprünglich geplant. Damit herzlich willkommen also zum zweiten Akt am Halbfinaltag der Northern Ireland Trophy hier in Belfast. Dazu begrüßt Sie am Eurosport-Mikrofon sehr, sehr herzlich Ihr Rolf Kahl. Dieses Einladungsturnier, das Saisoneröffnungsturnier, 20 Akteure sind da gestartet. Für diejenigen, die heute Nachmittag noch nicht zuschauen konnten, zeigen wir Ihnen die Entscheidung, reichen wir Ihnen die Entscheidung im ersten Halbfinale zwischen Neil Robertson und Matthew Stevens noch einmal nach. Das war ein dramatisches Match. Heute Abend dann aber das Schottenduell. Stephen Hendry gegen Al McManus.
Stephen Hendry.
Der siebenfache Weltmeister, hier wird er vorgestellt. Der Mann, der gestern sicherlich noch nicht optimal gespielt hat, aber der vor Ehrgeiz brennt, der eines will, mehr Titel, obwohl er schon so viele gewonnen hat. Stephen Hendry. Sein Akteur wartet bereits in der Arena. Das ist sein Landsmann, Al McManus. Und das ist ein Kämpfer, das ist ein zäher Gegner, Al McManus, der zumal ja auch in der letzten Saison eigentlich sehr erfolgreich gespielt hat. 2 Viertelfinals, ein Halbfinale. Offiziell in der Weltrangliste Al McManus. Hier haben Sie ihn auf Platz 12. Aber wenn man sich nur mal das Einjahresranking anschaut, dann ist er auf Platz 5 da hochgeklettert. Und das zeigt, welche Qualitäten hier am Snookertisch versammelt sind. Schiedsrichterin ist Michaela Tepp, auch sie eine Schottin. Also ich hoffe mal, die fangen jetzt nicht alle an, schottisch miteinander zu reden. Dann wird es ein bisschen schwierig. Die Distanz in diesem Halbfinale Best of 11. Sie erkennen es da unten auch an der 11 in Klammern. Und das heißt, es geht bis 6. Sie wissen ja auch, liebe Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer, dass wir Sie in Sachen Snooker umfassend auf allen Medienplattformen informieren, insbesondere also auch im Internet unter www.eurosport.de und auch im Videotext. Da finden Sie, wenn Fragen auftauchen, auch die Frequently Asked Questions. Da finden Sie eine Reihe weiterer Informationen. Wenn Sie irgendwelche Fragen haben, schauen Sie da mal rein. Die Chance, würde ich mal sagen, ist ziemlich hoch, dass Sie die Antwort da finden. Erste Chance für Stephen Hendry und sofort macht er den ersten Punkt. Ansonsten haben wir natürlich auch noch das Herzstück sozusagen, unser neues Snookerforum. Das erfordert zwar eine Registrierung, aber die ist rutzputz erledigt. Und dann können Sie sich mit anderen Snooker-Fans austauschen, können diskutieren, was hier passiert, können natürlich auch Ihre Anmerkungen und Ihre Fragen loswerden. Wir haben das Ganze aufgeteilt in mehrere Threads, in mehrere Themenbereiche, damit es ein bisschen übersichtlicher ist. Natürlich kann ich während der Sendung nicht immer von einem Thread in den anderen springen, um da dann jeweils alles nachzulesen. Also ich lese hier während der Sendung mit, was im Thread zu diesem Turnier zur Northern Ireland Trophy geschrieben wird. Die Bitte wie immer an die Snooker-Fans, doch mitzuhelfen, die auftauchenden Fragen zu beantworten. Herzlichen Dank vorab. Genauso die Bitte an die Fragenden, schauen Sie erstmal, viele Fragen lassen sich mit den Informationen, die wir da zusammengestellt haben, auch so beantworten.
$13.
Da steckte einiges an Wirkung drin. Um da wieder auf den nächsten Ball zu stellen.
19.
Den neben Schwarz kann er nicht spielen. Der würde das ganze Bild natürlich öffnen für ihn. Pink dort ja, weil der Spot besetzt war, blockiert. Und auch jetzt hat er nicht den Winkel, der ihn zu den Roten zurückbringen würde. Also eine Safety von Stephen Hendry, bei der er darauf achtet, dass der Spielball dort an der Fußbande bleibt. Da konnte er nur hoffen, dass Blau diesen Roten vor der Ecktasche unten links abdeckt. Das ist aber nicht der Fall. Und jetzt ist Schwarz natürlich frei. Und es gibt ja kaum jemanden, der dieses Lieblingsspiel aller Snookerspieler Rot-Schwarz so perfekt beherrscht wie Stephen Hendry, der König des Breakbuildings. Er hat den Sommer über noch einmal an seiner Technik gefeilt mit Terry Griffiths, seinem Trainer. Er gesagt, ich habe in der letzten Saison die Bälle immer etwas zu voll gespielt.
9. Sixteen.
Und es gibt auch nur wenige, die beim Spiel auf die Mitteltasche so sicher sind wie Stephen Hendry. Auch das ist gut gelaufen, wie er dort den Pulk der Roten geöffnet hat.
Thirty-one. 32.
'Lass mir eine Minute, Stephen', hat Michaela Tepp da gesagt. Denn alle Spots sind im Moment blockiert. Sie muss Grün jetzt so nah wie möglich an den eigenen ranlegen. Da liegt aber Pink drauf. So nah wie möglich, heißt wirklich so nah wie möglich, ohne Pink zu berühren. Das ist natürlich immer eine etwas hakelige Arbeit. Das geht da nicht so ruckzuck. Das war eine kleine Fliege, die ihn da irritiert hat.
36.
Eine rote jetzt noch, dann benötigt McManus bereits Snooker.
43. 44.
Get a little jar. Yeah. Just open the jar up slightly as a plane. I've done that 9 years ago.
51. 52. 59. 60.
Sogar ein Century Break ist möglich. (110), um genau zu sein, falls er zu jeder der beiden letzten Roten auch noch schwarzlochen kann. Es wäre das 672. in der Karriere von Stephen Hendry.
$75. 76.
Problem bei dem Weg zum Century ist jetzt zum einen gelb, dann aber auch dieses Gelb-Pink-Paket, wollte ich sagen, aber er scheiterte schon an gelb. Trotzdem, das 83er Break, das war ein Break vom Allerfeinsten. Das war Snooker in Perfektion. Stephen Hendry hat gerade eben Frame 2 begonnen in diesem zweiten Halbfinale der Northern Ireland Trophy in Belfast. Das ist der schottische Abend hier in Belfast. Stephen Hendry gegen McManus, 2 Schotten und mit Michaela Tapp auch noch eine schottische Schiedsrichterin dazu. 1:0 steht's für Stephen Hendry. McManus war im ersten Frame weitgehend in die Rolle des Zuschauers gedrängt und durfte sich anschauen, das 83er Break von Stephen Hendry. Das war nicht nur ein hohes Break, sondern das war auch ein wunderbar konstruiertes Break. Das hat die hohe Kunst gezeigt von Stephen Hendry, die er auch immer noch zelebriert, wenn er denn in Form ist, wenn sein Spiel da ist und wenn es bei ihm läuft. McManus hat gestern gegen Joe Swale im Viertelfinale beim 5:1 absolut überzeugt. Mit 140 Punkten da auch die Turnierhöchstserie bisher gespielt. Aber hier läuft das Match an ihm vorbei. Safety-Fehler und das bekannte Bild Stephen Hendry am Tisch auf der Jagd nach Punkten.
6. Seven. Fourteen. 15. 22. 23. 28.
Nach dem Split, das ist immer die Situation, wo man sich neu orientieren muss. Man den Plan unter Umständen überarbeiten muss.
29.
Da ging hier gerade noch was und das war eine knappe Sache. Hat aber nicht ganz so geklappt, wie er das wollte. Hat nicht so auf Blau gestellt, wie es optimal wäre. Daher auch sein etwas gequälter Gesichtsausdruck und offensichtlich war dafür verantwortlich ein schlechter Ballkontakt, denn er bat Michaela Tepp sofort, den Spielball zu reinigen.
35. 42.
Auch da wieder hat er sich die rote rechts im Pulk nicht so freistellen können wie geplant.
Anyway, back to business.
Jetzt muss er suchen, was er noch als zweite Option hat. Rot in die Mitte geht natürlich, ist aber ein Ball nicht ohne Risiko. Ein Spielsafe.
Stephen Hendry, 42.
McManus aus Glasgow. Und schon wieder eine verunglückte Safety des 34-Jährigen. Das ist sein 37. Halbfinale, das er hier bestreitet.
1.
People think that Stephen Hendry was the first Scotsman to win the world title. Walter Donaldson.
7. 8. 14. 15.
Da liegt das 2:0 für Stephen Hendry in der Luft.
It's a lonely place in that chair, and then the opponent starts knocking everything in.
22.
Especially from this one. I think everybody has.
23.
Schwarz, dann benötigt Alan McManus bereits Snooker. Und auch das sah aus wie eine Formsache. Die Betonung
30.
dabei liegt auf sah aus.
31.
Split between the two. Gone really.
38.
Der Split ist nicht gerade schön für Hendry gelaufen.
Stephen Hendry, 38.
Oh, da war Michaela Tepp ein bisschen zu schnell dran. Ein Flug, ein Glückstreffer.
44.
Aber meine Güte, den Frame hatte er sowieso schon sicher. Um ehrlich zu sein, wer so spielt wie Stephen Hendry hier, oder wenn Stephen Hendry in dieser Manier aufspielt, das hat auch schon was Ästhetisches. Das ist einfach wunderschön.
52. 53. 59. 60. 67. 69. 72. 76.
Die Perfektion, auch das ist es, was
81.
Stephen Hendry sucht. Und so arg weit entfernt ist er im Moment in diesen ersten beiden Frames davon nicht.
87.
Ein 83er Break eben, ein 94er Break. Jetzt Stephen Hendry lässt hier nichts anbrennen, spielt brillant und führt mit 2:0. Frame 3 hat gerade begonnen. Alan McManus, er muss sich was einfallen lassen. 0:2 liegt er hinten gegen einen in den ersten beiden Frames brillant aufspielenden Stephen Hendry, der Breaks von 83 Punkten im ersten und dann 94 im zweiten Frame zeigte. Ja, im Forum hat einer gefragt, warum klappt das denn bei McManus nicht so, nachdem er gestern gegen Joe Swale so gut gespielt hat? Nun, zum einen hat man nicht jeden Tag die gleiche Form. Zum zweiten, zum Halbfinale wird der Tisch ja noch einmal neu bezogen. Da muss sich jeder erst dran gewöhnen. Dem einen gelingt das schneller, der andere braucht etwas länger. Und zum dritten, Stephen Hendry hat ihm bisher keine Chance gegeben, hier ins Match zu kommen. Vielleicht ja jetzt. Das ist der erste Ball, den McManus locht, aber auch das läuft ungünstig. Hat er vielleicht ein bisschen viel Effet mitgegeben.
Yellow ball.
Spielt
Alan McManus 1, Stephen Hendry 4.
sehr faire Geste, im Snooker eigentlich typisch, aber ich finde trotzdem, dass man es immer wieder betonen sollte. Er hat da die Weiße touchiert, hat das selber zugegeben. Michaela Tepp hatte das offensichtlich nicht registriert. Und hat die Schiedsrichter darauf aufmerksam gemacht, ist vom Tisch gegangen und hat die 4 Foulpunkte kassiert. Die fehlen unten in der Anzeige noch. Lassen Sie sich jetzt nicht irritieren. Die Anzeige ist falsch im Moment. Bei Stephen Hendry müssen wir noch uns 4 Punkte dazu denken.
1.
Schwarz passt da an Rot vorbei. Jetzt ist auch die Anzeige korrigiert und damit korrekt.
8.
Trotzdem allen Respekt für die Fairness von Alan McManus.
9.
Herzlich willkommen an dieser Stelle auch an all diejenigen Zuschauerinnen und Zuschauer, die zum angekündigten Sendebeginn um 20:30 Uhr eingeschaltet haben. Nicht erschrecken, aber die
16.
Dinge, die wir vorher übertragen haben, waren schneller vorbei als geplant. Und
17.
da haben wir uns ganz einfach entschieden, so früh wie möglich zu Beginn dieses Matches schon nach Belfast hinüberzuschalten, um Ihnen so viel Snooker wie möglich zu zeigen. Also Sie sehen dadurch jetzt nicht weniger Snooker, aber die ganze Zeit bei Eurosport waren, sind belohnt worden und haben eine halbe Stunde Snooker mehr gehabt.
24.
Und das muss ich dazu sagen, eine halbe Stunde, die sehr sehenswert war mit dem 83er und dem 94er Break von Stephen Hendry. Best of 11 bis 6 also geht's. 2:0 für Stephen Hendry, der Spielstand, und schon wieder ist er am Tisch, schon wieder ist er in einem Break. Und auch für Sie nochmal kurz der Hinweis auf die ganzen Informationen im Internet, auf unser Forum.
25.
Und natürlich auch auf unser Gewinnspiel im Internet unter eurosport.de oder auch auf der Videotexttafel 392. Da gibt es nämlich 2x2 VIP-Tickets für die Bet & Win German Open Anfang Oktober zu gewinnen. Und dieses Turnier, bei dem auch eine Reihe von Profis, zum Beispiel Matthew Stevens, Jimmy White, Ian McCulloch, Neil Robertson und teilnehmen. Da sind die Tickets ja schon seit langem ausverkauft. Aber als Eurosport-Gewinner
33.
können Sie trotzdem dabei sein.
40. $41. $48.
Bei diesem Split hat er sich festgespielt.
Red left with pink is just lined up next to the pocket. Always want to sort of hit those on the edge rather than the front.
Da hat er den Pulk etwas zu voll getroffen. Boah!
29.
Another one here. I'll tell you what, Mark. For those who faked it couldn't watch it, sometimes do it before. That shot was worth the admission.
Die Probleme potenzieren sich jetzt natürlich. Aber das war trotzdem genial, dieser riesenlange Ball. Da in die gelbe Tasche. Und auch das war vom Allerfeinsten. Er lächelt. Meine Güte, kannst denn jetzt nicht mal rundlaufen? Jetzt habe ich da schon wieder einen schwierigen liegen, weil die Weiße in einer unangenehmen Position da direkt an der Bande liegt.
Stephen Hendry, 57.
Trotzdem können wir notieren, wieder ein Break von ja, über 50 Punkten zumindest mal. Halbe 100, also schon wieder voll. 6 rote noch auf dem Tisch, das sind 75 Punkte. Also, Hendry ist noch in Reichweite für McManus. Aber da darf er sich selbstverständlich keinen Fehler erlauben. Und das war ein Fehler. Er ist einfach noch kalt. Wann hätte er sich denn noch einspielen sollen?
One.
Das 2:0 steht zu erwarten. Wird dort unten in der Grafik nicht mehr lange notiert sein.
8. Nine.
Goes to the corner. Practices these all day. He doesn't miss many of these, I'm sure. So watching practice.
14.
This time, take 50 into each corner.
15.
Unnötig zu erwähnen, dass McManus schon Snooker benötigt.
22. 23. 30.
Und er lässt auch nicht locker. Er fightet um jeden Ball, um jeden Punkt, auch wenn der Frame bereits sicher ist. Auch wenn es hier nicht mehr um ein Century Break oder ähnliches geht. Aber das ist natürlich auch klar, denn er will im Rhythmus und in der Konzentration bleiben.
56.
Will dann nichts riskieren, das den Faden bei ihm reißen lassen könnte.
37.
It's kind of relentless, whatever you want to call it. Also, out of respect, Stephen knows what a good player is.
43. 45.
Stephen Hendry hier heute voll motiviert, bis unter die Haarspitzen herausgekommen. Wusste natürlich auch, das ist das Match, bei dem er sich gegen einen der absoluten Topspieler beweisen muss. Und vielleicht hat ihm das ja
52.
dieses Extra an Motivation gegeben, um hier zu einer solch grandiosen Leistung fähig zu sein.
57.
Eben ein 57er Break, da sind wir jetzt genau auch schon wieder.
63.
Und es werden noch 70 Punkte. Kann man Snooker perfekter spielen? Stephen Hendry, grandios, brillant und er führt mit 3:0. Michaela Tepp hat Pink als letzten Ball aufgesetzt. Weiter kann es gehen mit Frame 4. Stephen Hendry beginnt ihn, der Mann, der hier 3:0 führt und der eine unglaublich starke Leistung zeigt. Das könnte wieder das Problem mit einem schlechten Ballkontakt gewesen sein. Vor allem aber mal ist die Chance für McManus, hier den Tisch etwas kennenzulernen. Die beiden bestreiten hier schon ihr 32. Duell. Stephen Hendry hat 23 Mal gewonnen. McManus 8 Siege. Aber der letzte resultiert aus dem Jahr 2000.
1.
Wäre ihm die Weiß am Blau vorbeigelaufen, dann wäre es optimal. Aber auch so, okay, es gibt ja noch Pink als Alternative.
Black, he might pass that there to the four.
7. Eight. Fourteen.
Lang in die Ecktasche unten links und dann auf Schwarz halten.
15.
Bewundernswert, wie er da die weiße Kugel kontrolliert. Und damit macht er sich das Leben jetzt natürlich einfacher. Jetzt ist Schwarz spielbar.
Stephen Hendry, 22.
Mit der Spinne, die ist ungelebt, ist sowas immer möglich, ganz klar.
1.
Und zudem sah das auch noch aus nach einem Kick, den er da hatte. Ein Zuschauer schrieb auch, oder eine Zuschauerin,
8.
das ist ja nicht zu sehen, im Forum, das wird ja eine einseitige Angelegenheit, zwar keine langweilige, aber eine einseitige,
9.
wenn McManus nicht in sein Spiel findet. Nur bisher hatte ihm Stephen Hendry ja keine Chance gelassen. Vielleicht ist das die Chance, die er braucht. Sehr guter Split.
16. Seventeen. Nineteen. 20. $27.
Die Frage ist jetzt, was ist mit Pink? Geht Pink auf den eigenen Spot? Das schaut er sich da an. Kann ja nicht fragen, darf nicht selber ausmessen. Das will er natürlich nicht. Pink hilft ihm da in der Mitte auf jeden Fall erheblich mehr. Denn auf dem Spot wäre nicht nur Pink selber blockiert, sondern auch die Roten. Michaela Tepp misst natürlich aus mit der Schablone. Und es scheint nicht zu gehen. Gutes Auge von McManus.
35. $42. 43. $50. 51.
Klasse um den ganzen Tisch rumgestellt. Zwei rote dort unten an der Kopfbande. Die können natürlich sehr leicht Probleme machen.
$64. $65.
Aber er hat jetzt schon 43 Punkte Vorsprung. Plus Schwarz, dann sind es 50. Und es liegen nur noch 43 Punkte auf dem Tisch. Stephen Hendry benötigt also Snooker.
McManus 72 and the frame.
Ein 72er Break. Stephen Hendry gibt den Frame auf. Traum-Snooker von zwei Weltklasse-Spielern. Und Alan McManus verkürzt rechtzeitig zum Mid-Session-Interval auf 1:3. Es kommt also auch wieder etwas Spannung auf. Und Klasse und Rasse hat dieses Halbfinale allemal.
He wanted to actually hit two cushions here. Hit the side cushion first, but he caught the green first and just pushed it away from that side cushion. This red is on for Alan, but it's not easy. Of course, he's got to negotiate the cue ball around the other reds as well. Unless he tries to stun over for black or pink. Good pot, but the cannon unlucky.
1.
Well, it's not even easy to play a safety shot here off a colour. I mean, the pink will go into the green pocket, but he surely won't be taking that on.
Green ball.
He can find a passage through to the green.
Well, he's nominated green, so he's playing a similar shot to Stephen did off the cushion first. Well, off the side cushion, in fact. I thought he was hoping to come off the back cushion. That'll do, though. He's got that white near to that back cushion.
But I think he'll be a bit disappointed that with the reds nicely spread, Mike, that he wasn't better placed on a colour from that first red.
It was a good first pot, but initially, but very difficult to negotiate position on a colour. Oh, that's well short. That's a bad shot.
So a second opportunity presents itself to Alan to take this fifth frame. One thing's for sure, he'll not be hurried into it.
Just watching Alan there, he's still got that habit of lifting his head as he delivers the cue, hasn't he?
Yes.
I know he's been working on that over the last 12 months. I don't know if we can see that. Just watch this. If we stay on this shot, I don't think we will actually, but if we see an onward shot actually, a straight onward shot, just watch the head. It just lifts slightly as he's making that final delivery
13.
of the cue.
$14.
Doesn't seem to affect him, But I know he has been trying to keep the head still.
Well, that's what all the textbooks tell you. You might see it here. There it goes. Not quite so pronounced as maybe last season, but still the slight movement.
20.
Mind you, Mike, I think back to the days of Alex Higgins when he really was the hurricane in the throughout the 70s. My goodness, his body was all over the place, but gosh, what a potter he was.
21.
That's a clever shot, finding the gap. Well, it's like Graham Miles used to play it by ear, didn't he? You remember? They didn't have the cue on the chin, actually. It was under one eye when Graham used to play. It was quite extraordinary, but he didn't have to knock them in. Great player.
Yes, reached the final of the World Championships
28.
in 73, I think it was.
$29.
Well, again, Alan showing his fighting qualities here. He was totally blitzed in the first three.
36.
Took the last one before the mid-session interval, and a great chance to claw another one back here.
37.
21-point lead. 28. So another black with that red near the pink. And Stephen. Oh, he's got too close to that. I was about to say Stephen will need a snooker. I think he's gone too far into the middle of the table. Can he see enough of this to pot it? I think he's just looking at the potting angle, so that would suggest yes. Oh, well played. Make sure the black. 29 the difference. This black will make it 36 with only 35 on the table. Could leave himself a cross double on that last red, but just make sure of the black. Now then, will he play the cross double? Stephen just needs one snooker,
52.
remember.
Alan McManus, 52.
Well, it was worth a punt, wasn't it? He's still in a strong position in this fifth frame.
Well, Stephen needed to avoid coming into the brown there. He's 35 behind, so if he takes the blue, it means 30. He can win by one with one snooker. The brown is no good to him. $30 the difference, 27 on the table.
6.
Well, that's a poor shot.
Stephen Hendry, 6.
Not only did he cannon into the blue, which wasn't his intention, he's put the yellow near that pocket. He was trying to swing the white around the table and get him behind the black, but he might have thrown this one away now. Although he did need a snooker, of course. It's definitely going to be 3-2 now, and it's game on. And you can never write this man off.
Oh, it's been grit and determination from the Glaswegian, hasn't it? And he deserves to get this second frame on the board.
Well, that's his trademark, isn't it? Nothing fancy, just professional. Does what he has to do. Stephen will concede.
-9 and the frame.
Indeed so. So from 3-0 and a very dynamic first 3 frames from Stephen Hendry, Alan McManus has now clawed 2 of them back and is very much back in this match. Remember, it's best of 11. First to 6 goes through. It's Stephen Hendry 3, Alan McManus 2.
Yes.
11 in his semi-final here against Alan McManus, leading Alan by 3 frames to 2, but it was 3-0, remember. Alan McManus taking the last 2. And the Glaswegian first man in this, the 6th frame of these possible 11.
Well, a full ball contact on that red would have been nice. It would have been on the black, but he's taken the blue on. Let's not forget, it's been 5 years since Alan McManus beat Stephen in any competition. That's a mental block, a mental hurdle that you have to get over. And I'm sure that he's set his stall out here this evening to do that. And that was a cracking shot. Not only the pot, but just look at the position.
In fact, that victory of Alan's that you referred to, Mike, was the only one he's had over Stephen in the last 9 years.
-14. 15.
Good angle to get into them. Well, he caught them nicely, but he's okay. He's still got 1 to the yellow pocket. Just 1 or 2 out. Again, could have been on one easier than this. No.
Alan McManus. 22.
Well, at this standard, would have expected him to get that one.
Question is, has Stephen got a line of sight? I'm not sure he has, unless he can play one red onto the other. Like that.
Needs the red to slow down. Well, I think it's just blocked the path of the blue. Good red though.
Three. Four. 9. Ten.
Oh, I think he was hoping that he'd have the red
17.
into the left corner, but he'll have to settle for that one into the right middle now. He's put it, the other one back into the pack. Now is Stephen about to recover the momentum he showed in the first 3 frames?
Just look at
24.
this cracking shot play with the left hand side on the cue ball. A little bit unlucky. Still one there to the right corner. You can also chip that one into the left centre. Nice, well played. He was able to avoid the red
25.
and the black. Well, he's got the options here, yellow, green and the blue. Well, he might take the blue on and try and get on this red on the top cushion. He's already having a look at the green as well. Yes, blue then for this red near the right corner pocket. Normal service resumed.
30. Thirty-one. Thirty-eight. 39. 46. 47.
Seemingly well on his way to restoring a 2-frame cushion. Well, only the previous frame, frame 5, has not seen a half-century being scored.
55.
It's been good quality stuff, this. The difference. This will make it 40 with only 43 left on the table.
62.
This blue will be enough. And he's had a quick look as well to see if that red next to the pink will go into the left corner. It's looking like 4-2 now. Alan did have a chance.
67.
Missed it. And he's paid the price.
$68.
Trying a little cannon on the pink here. Stay on the red. Oh, well, he went around the table.
Stephen Hendry, 68.
Well, a shout of "Come on, Alan" from the audience here. Alan not conceding the frame because he is still in with the shout. He's 46 behind, 35, just the one red, 35 on the table, so 3 snookers needed. But of course, he could always find himself with a free ball situation if Stephen should miss, and that would in theory give him an extra red and a colour.
Well, this could be one of those situations. If Stephen misses the red here, he'll probably play this dead weight-ish. You might want to bring the white in and out of bulk. Coming off the left-hand cushion with a lot of right-hand side. Well, I think that... Well...
Foul. Alan McManus, 4.
Can't be called a miss because, of course, snooker's required. Has he got the angle to roll in behind the brown? He's overdone it. Oh, people are clapping. Well, he's conceded. He was that disgusted with that shot, decided to concede the frame.
A little bit of disappointed that he did that, but nonetheless, he's done it, and so Stephen takes the frame thanks to that 68. He now leads Alan by 4 frames to 2. Of a possible 11 here, just underway in the second semi-final between Stephen Hendry and Alan McManus. These players fighting for a place in tomorrow's best of 17 frame final against the Welshman Matthew Stevens in this Northern Ireland trophy. Matthew having earlier beaten Neil Robertson of Australia by 6 frames to 4.
Yeah, it was a little bit strange that Alan did concede when he did. He got that one good snooker. Again, I think he was that disgusted that the way he played that shot. It was an easy shot to get him behind the brown, but he'd had enough with the frame. But as it is, it's all done and dusted now. Into frame 7.
Well, there was a precedent to that earlier today, wasn't there, when Matthew had enough of a frame that saw him go 4-1 behind, and from there on he never looked back because he took the next 5 in a row to win the match. Oh, you saw what we were talking about earlier there to a very obvious extent. Alan lifting his head quite markedly just before delivering the cue, and he missed that shot by some distance. Stephen just 2 frames away from a place in the final against Matthew Stevens. Well now, that was a rather strange shot by Alan, I must say, and I suspect he got that all wrong. He hit the wrong side of the red altogether, and I suspect that Stephen can see this red to the right corner, to the left corner.
I was just wondering, it was that bad a shot. I just wondered if he might have miscued there. Well, Stephen having to negotiate the gap for colour. I cannot believe it. If he's finished on this pink here, I'm not going to believe that.
I thought you said he never had any luck.
Well, that is unbelievable. Just watch this again. Can that little red? Just nudge that red. Oh, we're not getting to that actually because he's playing the pink. Well, he was on the pink. That really is unbelievable.
Got out of jail a bit there, didn't he?
Well, I hope he's done his lottery numbers. Well, he doesn't need them, does he? He's got lottery money already. Ready for you, Bob, this young man. Well, 36 years of age now, over £8 million on the table earnings. Quite incredible.
8.
Yes, we quote these figures quite from time to time, but of course that's only the half of it, probably fairly literally, I imagine, because off the table earnings and earnings in other little one-off tournaments here and there which are not part of the official ranking event series from season to season, and I imagine that 8 million is at least twice that.
Yes, well, the investments, of course, portfolios and property portfolios, stuff like that, cash investments. So
14.
a little bit of fortune there, landing on the pink might mean it could be 5-2 in a few minutes' time. It was very fortunate indeed, but well, that's what you need at this game, and you have to take full advantage and not be embarrassed about it either. You're there to win.
$29. 30.
I remember a quote from Gary Wilkinson. He played a match against Ronnie O'Sullivan once, and Ronnie had that many flukes during. I think Gary was 4-1 up, and Ronnie came back to win 5-4. Ronnie had that many flukes. He kept putting his hand up to apologise, and Gary thought he was. In the end, he thought he was directing traffic.
Ever the humorist, Gary Wilkinson.
$38. $45. 46. $53.
Yet another 50-plus break for Stephen. Well, and all of the frames that he's
54.
won, there has been a break over 50. In fact, 6 in 5 frames. 2 in frame 3, let's not forget. 57, and cleared with 70.
61. $62.
Do we get the century chart at the ready?
Don't be too premature, Mike. But with this fella, of course, I don't suppose you should ever have it very far away. 671 in his career so far. He got that 671st earlier this week against Ding Shunhui.
68.
Still one to the left middle.
73.
Well, a couple actually.
74.
Well, I'm just doing my mental arithmetic, and by my calculations, he's on for 140 if he can take blacks with these
82.
last 4 reds. And of course, that would equal, guess who? Alan McManus, who got exactly that against Joe Swale yesterday.
Well, that would be rubbing it in a bit, wouldn't it?
Well, without being too silly about it, I suppose if there's one man who doesn't mind there's no prize money for the
89.
highest break this week, it's Stephen Hendry with all those pounds in the bank. Nonetheless, you
90.
have to say that this is back to the form that he showed in the first 3 frames. A brief stutter whilst Alan McManus came back into the game. All credit to Alan for taking those 2 frames, but it looks now as though it's going to be 5-2.
96.
Yes, he was a little bit fortunate to land on the pink to the green pocket, but well, since then it's been totally immaculate.
There's century number 672.
Ye of little faith. Oh, he's cannoned into the green. I'll have to come off a cushion first here. Might be end of break. Never know though. No.
Well, the 102, more than enough to see him over the finishing line in that 7th frame. And so he extends his lead now to within 1 frame of victory. Alan McManus has a very severe uphill task now against his fellow Scotsman. The 7 times world champion Stephen Hendry now leads him by 5 frames to 2. The Waterfront Hall in Belfast on this semi-final day in this Northern Ireland Trophy, which finishes tomorrow with the best of 17 frame final between Matthew Stevens of Wales and one of the 2 Scotsmen fighting it out here in this second semi-final, Stephen Hendry and Alan McManus. It's looking very much odds-on Stephen Hendry at the moment. He went off to a flyer, taking the first 3 before Alan finally hit back with a couple. But then Stephen Hendry resumed his earlier progress against Alan there, and he's just had the first century of the match, his 2nd of the week, to go within 1 frame of a meeting with Matthew Stevens tomorrow. So frame 8 of a possible 11. Stephen, of course, will be hoping that 11 are not needed.
Simple, of course. Alan needs to win 4 on the bounce. Tall order.
Well, if that was an attempt at a pot, it was some considerable distance away, and it's left Stephen in here. That's the last thing that Alan wanted.
1. 9. Sixteen. 17.
Oh, bit of power there. Is he on the red?
24.
That should be on the straighter red, of course. Well, I was thinking, a bit early to be thinking maximum, but you have to go back for the blue here now.
25.
Just for 1 minute. If he'd scored another couple of reds with colours, we might have mentioned it, but it doesn't matter now. What's our rule, Mike? 48.
We've got an unwritten rule, haven't we? Not before 6 red, 6 blacks.
Stephen won't bother about that. He'll just be wanting to win this frame. Plenty of time to make one tomorrow in the best of 17.
He's had 8 in his career. Remarkable.
30.
Priority, win the frame and match.
Oh, he's over. Cut that
Stephen
one.
Hendry, 30.
Oh, I wish I hadn't said anything. Unexpected.
Very. Perhaps just taking things a little for granted there, I suspect.
Thank you. Please don't shout out when the players are at the table.
Good safety.
Now, Alan, don't do what Matthew did yesterday. Matthew was doing exactly that, Matthew Stevens, yesterday, and whoops, the tip just flipped off and onto the floor. Oh, that was another one which was some distance away. Have another look at that. It wasn't an easy shot, but it never threatened the pocket. And it's given Alan an opportunity.
Looks a little straight on this red. I'm just wondering when he might use the angle of the pocket to get out for the black. Bit of topspin, pot the red, wobble the white. Yes, the white's slightly off the cushion, so it's not dead straight. The best way to get out here is lots of topspin and use the angle of the pocket. Well, he did have the angle. Nicely played.
Nine.
Well, he's hanging in here by the skin of his teeth, and this is an opportunity to get a sizable break together. Remember, Matthew Stevens looked dead and buried yesterday against Neil Robertson when he was 4-1 behind.
14.
Only to come back and take 5 frames in a row. Well, Alan needs 4 in a row, although in fairness, it has to be said, he's playing perhaps the most difficult opponent in the game. Nicely played.
Twenty-one. 22. 29. 30.
So he's pulled back the deficit, all square in this 8th frame. And you have to say, every chance of taking this one now.
37.
Enough loose reds here for him to
38.
go past the snooker's required position without having to go down for that awkward red next to the brown. Slightly underhit that, but I'd still back him to get this black.
This is a big shot, only being 8 points the lead, and Stephen only require 1 frame for victory. Well played. A lot of courage in that shot.
$45.
Should win in the frame.
46. 53.
His second half century of the match. He had a 72 way back in frame 4. That was the first frame that he won.
54.
Can take these 2 reds near the pink. He won't need that awkward red near the brown. Should have done enough by then. Stephen will require snookers.
59. 60. 66. 67.
Take the extra 5 points. He hasn't got the angle to disturb that last red. Is he going with power? Trying to create the angle. This is a great shot. Ooh, oh yes, that will do nicely. What a shot.
72.
He had hardly any angle at all on that blue, but found the angle. Tremendous shot. Oh, what a pity.
Alan McManus 72 and the frame.
72 more than enough. Exactly the score that he, or the break he accumulated in frame 4. So a touch of deja vu for Alan. The important thing is it's 1 in the frame. That's 1 of the 4 in a row that he needs. He's still got to get another 3. Stephen Hendry remains favourite though. He leads 5-3. McManus picking up a frame there, but still trailing Stephen Hendry by a couple of frames. 5-3. Stephen leads, needing just 1 more to join Matthew Stevens in tomorrow's final here in Belfast. And a good break-off shot from Alan. Not quite hiding that red, but Stephen, I don't think, can see enough of it to pot it.
Well, I think that was an attempt at a pot. Well, here's a decision. Does Alan tip this little tricky one on into the left middle? It's an acute angle, knowing that he might leave the red on. I think he'll actually screw the white back past that red. He'd like to hold the white where the red is, of course, but he can't afford to do that. It's an acute angle. If he could just drop the red in and left the white there, it would have been a little bit easier. But of course, like I said, he couldn't afford to do that. He was definitely going to leave one on for Stephen. Well, I do believe Stevens taken this one on to the yellow pocket, stunning over for the blue. Oh,
1.
great shot. What can you say? Again, made his mind up, fully committed.
Well, should he go on to compile a huge break here
6.
that wins him frame and match, just remember how it started. That terrific red into the yellow pocket.
7.
Still a couple of loose reds to play on here, but he might go into them. Yes, he wants them open. That's okay. He's still on one to the corner.
12.
Caught the side of the pink instead of catching it full. Back for the blue. Well, in fact, he's trying to stay on the black.
13.
Be a slight risk here if he decides to try and get on the black, but he's looking at the outside red. Might take one of the others and screw back for the blue. Could run through onto one of those reds, but again, that's taken the red that's just left of the black. If he's got the angle to run through and just nudge that one towards the top cushion, might be okay. No, it's gone the other way. Played the percentage for the
21.
blue.
Twenty-three. Twenty-four. 31. Sure.
Tricky job for Michaela Tab there. Replacing the white, but all is well.
Well, Stephen's just had a quick look here and dropping this red in, whether he can get onto the black. If he can just drop the white in such a position. Oh, he's caught the other red first, which means he's not on the black
22.
now. Can't see him taking anything on here. Probably a safety shot from the yellow or the green. Got a 32-point lead. Just remind you that he only requires one more frame to put himself into tomorrow's final. Well, he's going for the blue. This is surprising. Oh, just to us, not to him.
Well, he knows he's cueing well. He's not missed very many tonight,
37.
so I suppose it was reasonable for him to think he could get that one. Well,
Stephen
I
Hendry,
said he hasn't missed
37.
many. There's one to add to the still quite small list of misses we've seen from Stephen tonight. I think he might have got away with it as well.
He hasn't covered the red. He intended to bounce that red off the side cushion and put it on the top cushion. He hasn't done so, and it's available for Alan. Well played.
1.
No, easy on the colour. Good pot from distance. Good, good negotiation with the cue ball as well. Let's have a look at the blue, but I think green is favourite. Well, the only reason he's looking at the blue because he's stretching over that red and taking the green on, so that's why he's decided to take the blue. Ooh.
Alan McManus, 1.
It was the more difficult pot.
Well, there's an old saying of this game, it's not what you miss, it's what you leave. And he's left Stephen a nice, easy starter here.
1.
And that might have been Alan's last shot in this year's Northern Ireland Trophy.
Eight. 9. 16. 17. 24.
Will that red go past the others? Steve obviously thinks it does.
25.
And that should surely now enable him to clinch frame and match. We've seen a Stephen Hendry tonight very close to his best. He hasn't missed too much. His break building has been impressive. And Alan McManus, for his part, has not been able to take advantage of the few opportunities that Stephen has presented him.
$40. 41.
So we now know that it's going to be Matthew Stevens of Wales versus Stephen Hendry of Scotland in tomorrow's best of 17 frame final for this Northern Ireland Trophy.
49.
And I wonder whether Stephen can produce a crowd pleasing clearance here just to round the evening off.
56. 57.
Only one frame tonight, has not produced a half century. Alan's played his part, he's had a couple of 72s.
Oh, it's cracking pot. Yeah, Stephen's just been too good, really. He hasn't allowed Alan to get
59.
any sort of rhythm. Kept him at bay, kept him in his chair.
61.
He was installed as favourite once Ronnie O'Sullivan left the scene, and a strong favourite. What a cracking final tomorrow. Matthew Stevens and Stephen Hendry.
64.
One to look forward to.
Well, it doesn't really matter because he's missed that. There's the handshake. And a very comprehensive victory for Stephen Hendry, really, over Alan McManus, eventually prevailing by 6 frames to 3 with a string of good breaks, the highest of which, a 102, came in frame number 7. It was always an eminently watchable match, this. Stephen Hendry and Alan McManus, between them producing some very good quality snooker, but few opportunities for Alan McManus, it has to be said. Stephen Hendry then marches on to the final tomorrow against Matthew Stevens. There you see confirmation of the full draw. Stevens versus Hendry, Wales versus Scotland tomorrow. It's the best of 17 frames, so it's the first to 9 frames who will take the first prize of some £13,500, plus of course that magnificent Tyrone Irish crystal vase. Stephen Hendry then qualifying for the final by beating Alan McManus by 6 frames to 3. Well, just a reminder,